I'm coming at you from what used to be a kitchen. Now it's just a big empty space with plywood floors. New cabinets, and I'm doing all the prep work for, well, everything except for the actual cabinets. We got the electrical, a little bit of plumbing, demo, straighten up some of these walls, that kind of stuff. So the stage I'm at, and why I switched on the camera, is, I'll go ahead and turn this around here. I don't know what we're looking at. You can't really tell what the hell I'm doing unless I told you. You can see the layout marks on the floor. There. Laying out lighting. Very controversial lighting. Where do you put them? How many lights do you want? Is that enough? Is it not enough? I don't like making those decisions. I prefer when the homeowner makes the decisions. There are some general rules of thumb. So this section here is just going to have a standard set of countertops. Countertop depth, right, for the carcass is 24 inches. You got 1.5 inch overhang, so roughly 25.5 inch countertop. You want that oriented task lighting. So what that means is that light, your pot light, well, they're not really pot lights anymore. Actually, I'll grab one here. There's no such thing as a pot light anymore, let's face it. They're, you're gonna get something that looks like this. Clips. These are the good ones. There's a separate box that plugs into this, the LED driver. And the nice thing is if any of these ever burn out, you can, I'll just use this for example, you can pop it out of the hole and replace the driver or the light, so you're never trapped. These ones were from Costco and they're getting sent back. See, they got that big hulking box on the back of them. The problem with that is you're gonna go ahead and lay out your ideal layout for lights, and say you hit a truss. These little guys, they don't care that you hit a truss because they're only as thick, no, that's too close. That part is only as thick as the drywall, so it doesn't matter. You can pop them in anywhere. That big one with the fat box on the back, you gotta be real careful you don't hit a truss, because then the wood blocks you from getting it up in the hole. Anyways, those lights, pot light, I'm just gonna keep calling them pot lights, man, I don't give a shit. Centered over the edge of the counter. There's an island, got a couple over the island there. And then what I do, this is why I fired up the whole thing. Turn that off. This, I usually just use this for framing. My Stabila plumb laser. So it just shoots a plumb dot out, right? Plumb and a level dot. So you're gonna go ahead and line that up on your mark on the floor. Because this way you're not doing any layout overhead. There's nothing over top you. Right, I don't even know if you can see that. The screen went black on the dang camera. So line it up on the dot and then nicely transfers, oh, my hand's in the way, transfers your dot to the ceiling. You mark it, you get your hole saw, you cut it out, you move on, so on and so forth. If you're still rocking things in the dark ages, like maybe you rode a horse to work or something, you get a string and a plumb bob is still a thing. Still, I'm just being smart ass, it's still a handy thing. That wasn't a cheap tool either, so not everybody's gonna have one of those, but it does make it speedier. I got lasers for everything, so I'm gonna go ahead, pop these in. So you're gonna cut that 4-inch hole saw, cuts the right size hole for those. They're pretty much standard. And then what you end up getting, if you're careful, because you don't want to create more work than you have to. The way this construction works, right? Most home construction, you got your layered drywall, then there's a vapor barrier. You can see that plastic there, and then your insulation above that. So you don't want to have to repair all this vapor barrier. So when you got your hole saw fired up, cutting this nice little puck out, you push, and you can feel as you're pushing up in, it'll start to give way, and you know you're coming through to the edge of the paper, and then you stop. You get a feel for it. Take some practice, I guess. And that way, because the hole saw, I mean, yeah, it'll cut drywall. Drywall's easy to cut. It's not like razor blade sharp, right? So you just give it, if you just give it that pop, that push at the end, it pops the puck out. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but the edge of this brown paper actually isn't cut. It's just ripped free. It leaves that vapor barrier intact and saves you repairing that part of the process, because then with the way these drivers are, you just poke the wire through. That's all it needs to go through the vapor barrier, in my opinion anyways. I'd be totally wrong, but it's the way I do it anyways.